Hello and welcome to Community Care's Mental Health Response Training, Module 8, Common Disorders in Detail. I'm Paul Horn and I'll be your instructor for this, our last module. If you're starting here, welcome, and if you're ending here, congratulations, and we hope you'll find this particular module extremely interesting. In this module, some questions we will answer are, what are the symptoms of common diagnoses? What is meant by many common psychiatric terms? How will diagnoses differ now that a new DSM, or Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, is being utilized? And we'll speak a little bit more about that in just a moment. And what are the implications of a diagnosis or a dual diagnosis? Now, I want to take just a moment to reflect on the third bullet point here in case you're not aware. The timing of our course has been a bit challenging because the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual has gone through a revision that will be released on May 22nd of 2013. And as I sit here, it is May 16th. So it has been challenging because we know that this is a very substantive change in the manual, and yet our course has to be offered by a particular timeline. So what we have attempted to do is to address many of those changes as they're anticipated in this particular module. And so even if you are a clinician, this can be a bit of an introduction to what is going to happen in the DSM-5. We have yet to receive officially a copy of the DSM-5, but the sources used in this particular section include the American Psychiatric Association's own websites, its own releases, and its own documentation from its subcommittees, the same committees that wrote the new manual. And so we're quite comfortable that these are accurate reflections on what's going to be different in the new manual. However, we are not able to go into a tremendous amount of detail, and that's partly because we don't have the new manual in front of us, and it's also just because of the scope of our course. So we would hope that you would, if you're a clinician, go off and actually take a look at the manual. I can tell you that I'm waiting for my copy to come with considerable interest because there are significant changes, and I think for the most part those changes are actually common sense or make things easier. But we'll look at them in more detail. In your journal, let's begin by answering the following. What mental illness do you have if you never get out of bed? You are easily irritated. You argue with people frequently, especially those in authority. You have poor hygiene or self-care. You often miss work, are late, or submit work after it is due. You find time with your family and loved ones to be boring or drudgery. Take just a quick moment and write your guess of what that particular mental health diagnosis might be, and then come back to the second video to see the answer.